it's Emily, Super Sensitive Human, and I'm back home in Arizona. And I thought I would give you an update from a new and different location. I'm at the park near my house. Mercy's tied up, so she's probably going to be rolling around and whining and trying to take her leash off while I'm recording. So first of all, you're probably wondering how I'm doing now that I'm back from my health retreat. It was really rough the first few days because first of all, I stayed in that hotel in Venice and got super scent triggered from the laundry detergent, and when I get triggered from a scent, it like goes into my brain and makes it feel inflamed, and right away I'll get a headache and my nostrils will burn, and then I'll start to feel like depressed and irritable and suicidal, and just it's not good. And it can last a while. It can last you know, if I get triggered one day, I might be feeling bad the whole next day too, if it's bad. Depends on how bad it is. Sometimes it's gone within a few hours, sometimes it lasts a few days. So there was first of all that, and then on the way home I drove 10 hours, and by the end of the drive I was really hungry and it was dark out and I didn't want to stop and like get out my stove and everything, so I ate a burrito. That was a mistake because then I was just like allergic triggered as well, like food allergy triggered, and that's similar to scents but not as bad, or maybe it's bad in different ways, hard to explain. Then the next day I got home and picked up the Blue Dream, and the Blue Dream, while I was gone, started leaking oil onto the manifold, and so it's smoking when you drive it. And so then I got triggered again by driving the Blue Dream, and then I got triggered by it again the next day because I had to get groceries because I didn't have any. And then I got triggered by it the next day because I was out there working on it, and that's just a mistake to even try. I know you're thinking, oh, it's easy to fix, just get a new valve gasket. You can do that, but I can't do it myself. I can't do it myself because primarily it's extremely triggering to me to go anywhere near the scents underneath the hood, and I try like wear a filter mask, but that's not good enough. I'd have to wear like a gas mask or a respirator of some kind, but it can't be a new one. It has to be like an old one because the respirators and the gas masks and everything have their own scent in the plastic and the filters from those materials. So it has to be off-gassed already. And so I got more car headaches. I always have car headaches. I haven't had a good working car in 3 years, like consistently, and it's a constant stressor because it's leaking. They've been leaking. Both of them have been leaking smelly things, and of course it's a stressor when you feel kind of constricted because you can't go exactly where you want to go, and it affects your decisions about where you can travel and stuff like that. I just have to like work up the gumption and willpower to take my car to the mechanic, which shouldn't be that bad because the mechanic is like a quarter mile away, and then there's another mechanic that's like 1 mile away. So it's not a problem to take the car to the mechanic as far as getting a ride home or anything, but it is a problem because I just don't like mechanics. I don't like going there. I don't like talking to them. I just don't like the guys that tend to be mechanics very much. Well, I had to change a shot because the sun came out behind my head. So I was saying, getting home was bit of a headache, and being home was a bit of a headache, literally. As far as my symptoms go, I mean, all the little things that I reported in my health retreat video are still happening. It's not like my rash has come back, my sleep is still pretty good, all that stuff. My mood and my energy are still bad, even after giving myself some time to recover from all the chemical triggering. So, I think what helped the most, as I was saying, is the hyperbaric chamber. So I'm probably going to buy a hyperbaric chamber for $3,000 to help me get more oxygen into my blood and brain, and have kind of like a on-demand feeling slightly better energy. I hope that's hope that's what it was. If it's not, I can always get rid of the chamber, I guess. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to work on the problems that might be causing the fatigue and low oxygen in the first place. I've got a whole series of exercises to do and supplements that I maybe can do a video on what exactly I'm doing. Another thing about being home is, compared to retreat, it's just like really stressful to be back and having to do all the things that I was ignoring because I kind of wasn't doing my homework. So I'm 3 weeks behind on my schoolwork, and I got a lot to catch up with that. There's only 3 weeks left in the class anyway, so I basically have 6 weeks to do in 3 weeks, and then I'll be all done, unless I get an extension. I have this dog to take care of now. I feel guilty when I don't walk her enough. I have to do cooking and cleaning again. I did all my own cooking while I was there, but it's somehow harder at home. It's like, because I was in someone else's house, it was easy to like clean it up because I didn't want to make a mess in their house, but at home it's hard to motivate myself to keep cleaning. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, it's just a normal life, but it's a lot for me because I really have some problems. People always say, you have psychological problems, like in the comments and stuff. I'm like, yes, I have psychological problems. I know that. I have physical problems and psychological problems. And I don't really think they're that easily separated from each other. But it's a lot harder to try and keep to the healing schedule now and integrate that with the regular tasks of living. It was nice to be somewhere where I only had to work on healing for a while. That's kind of why one of the reasons that I wanted to do it. I was hoping that it'd make my life easier when I came home, but it hasn't really changed anything very much, so slightly changed my stress level, like my underlying anxiety level. But now I just have to try and integrate the two back together, and it's a bit overwhelming. As far as moving goes, I don't know. I'm not planning on going anywhere right away. I'm kind of ambivalent about that. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't really know. It could be, yeah, it's not quite the right time yet, or it could just be that I'm resisting something that I should do out of depression and apathy. See, that's the other side of the coin. People might say, oh, if you keep moving, you're just running away from your problems, but a lot of times inaction is a problem in and of itself. I do believe that you can be happier sometimes. You can make yourself happier and make your life better by moving or finding a partner when you don't have a partner or that kind of thing. A lot of people have pop psychology and spirituality sort of advice about going within to solve all your problems, and this won't make you happy and that won't make you happy. But I think that that is not the whole story. Things do make people happy. I believe that everybody has a soul that is here to expand and have experiences in this earth plane that has all these things and opportunities in different places and different ecosystems and different jobs you can do and people you can meet. So it's certainly part of the whole reason is to experience all of that. So moving might be following the calling of your soul. I've moved a lot of times and I'm not healthy or happy yet, but does that mean that I didn't learn something from each time that I moved, that I didn't pick up a new piece of the puzzle, that I didn't experience something that I needed to experience? I think that at least some of those times I did. Probably all of those times I needed to get out of where I was. I may not have picked the very highest place for my next place. Sometimes I might have picked like a lower place or a place that I stayed too long or that kind of thing, but you know, I certainly don't wish I was living back at my parents' house or wish I was growing weed in California or living with an abusive boyfriend or anything like that. So in that sense, am I happier? That yeah, I'm happier here, but I'm not happy. But that doesn't mean that that wasn't important for me to leave or find somewhere new, or that, you know, moving to Arizona or moving to California wouldn't bring me something better. I think that you know, some people have commented then it's obviously like one of the reasons to move to somewhere like Venice would be the social activities and that kind of all that social energy. And also second reason would be the ocean does good things for my energy. It's very calming to be near the ocean, especially the warm ocean, I think. I don't know if that's true, but I prefer the warmer ocean. Not like, I do not want to live in Northern California or the Oregon coast or the Washington coast or up by that ocean. I suppose at the very least it affects me because I'm not going to get in the ocean as much as if I lived in a colder place, and getting in the ocean actually has like a whole, you know, effect on you, a cleansing effect, a grounding effect, of like absorbing minerals and stuff into your skin effect. So that's one reason to move to a southerner ocean. So I think people's souls have these yearnings or these essences, and you can really find a place that suits you more than being happy in the place that you live. It's definitely possible. I definitely hear people talk about it all the time. Like, I got off the plane in Portland and I just felt like I was home. And I think that maybe that person went through enough places, enough expansion, that they found that place that was kind of like, you know, the place that would make them happy in the long term for like 20 years, just like you might, you know, go through some partners and learn some things and then find one that is, you know, going to be good for a long haul. But that doesn't mean that the other ones didn't make you happy. Like I said, I'm kind of apathetic about moving anywhere. I'm not sold on Venice despite the signs and everything. I've had even more than I talked about, but it's gonna take more to convince me is all I can say. I'm not really like in a mood to be anywhere right now. I'm not even in a mood to be here, or I'm kind of like not in a mood to settle down anywhere, I should say. I'm kind of in like travel. I got the travel bug from my little trip, and I wish I could keep going, and it's not that practical though with my sensitivities and everything. But I definitely have a bit of touch of spring fever. Speaking of spring fever, relationship update. Nothing going on there. No real leads. I have kind of I call him my faux beau, my fake boo, that I text once in a while. He lives in Memphis. He's like a guy that I was a co-worker of my ex-boyfriend, who I kind of re-met after we both moved away from Memphis, and I was living in Florida and he was living in New Orleans. So I text with him, but it's I don't know if I'm ever gonna go there or he's ever gonna come here. It's kind of it's not like it was this summer. Like this summer when I was texting with the fisherman, I was goo goo and gaga. I was in love. I was like, you know, grin every time I got a new text and was always thinking about what I was gonna write next, sending all kinds of pictures. That was like a fake boo too, but because he wasn't around, but it also wasn't, it didn't feel like that. It felt real to me. But whatever's happening right now is much more chill, and I don't do it that often. That's just like somebody to talk to when I'm traveling and commiserate with on Valentine's Day. I have been using OkCupid again. I quit, like, they changed the message system to make it suck. So OkCupid, I hate you. I hate your new message system. Thumbs down. But I've the last couple days I used it like for a few minutes a day. So I'm sort of trying. I'm not trying to make friends at all. I haven't been trying. I'm not planning on trying. I'm like way too overwhelmed with my schoolwork and stuff right now, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna live here for very much longer, so I don't really want to go through that. Not to mention I'm stranded in my house again and don't really live near other young people. But romantic relationship's a little bit different than the friendship, because because I might move for the right person or go somewhere to visit the right person for sure, so it doesn't matter if I'm not that grounded at my house right now or attached to my location. That fact just opens more doors and pathways to more potential partners. So I think that about covers what is going on right now. Basically, next steps are getting the hyperbaric chamber, getting it delivered to my house, getting the car fixed at some point, or getting a different car. That's a possibility too, especially if I want to be on the move. My car is not very good at gas mileage. It's kind of modified and weird and loud and stinky, so I might want, if I'm going to be, you know, driving across the country or anything, I might want to be getting a different car. I got the truck before I got my $10,000, so maybe if I'd had my $10,000 at the time, I would have gotten a more expensive car. But I'll probably get it fixed at least a little bit, because I'll need it to shop for new cars if I want to look for a new car. Unless the miracle car turns up right next to me, which is definitely possible, like that guy Sean came and showed up, left a note on my door asking to fix my CRV, basically. That could happen again. Finishing the homework, like I said, maybe continuing to use OkCupid a little bit. Still probably gonna put friends on the back burner, continuing to do my exercises for health, and just continuing to look for guidance about what to do and where to go and what my soul wants to experience next. For right now, it's unusual because money's not the biggest limitation in my life, but still anxiety and depression and energy and social phobia and that are big limitations. So any way that I can use money to help me overcome those limitations this is a good time to do it. Some people may think I was out partying, blowing a bunch of money on this health retreat and trip, but that's not true. As I said, the retreat portion that I spent 2 weeks at was free, and I only stayed in Palm Springs 1 day and Venice 2 nights, so that was 3 nights of hotel rooms. It really didn't cost that much. So I will catch up with you again soon.